A lot of fights and battles happen within Jujutsu Kaisen, so much so that I'm usually shocked now when we get a moment in chapter of characters casually talking. There were more of those earlier in the series between arcs. Though with the massive story arc of the Shibuya incident and the Culling games, there's a lot of fighting. Some I enjoyed greatly, others good, but not really to the same extent. I've already given my thoughts on my personal favorite. Now it's time to give my opinion on what I consider JJK's worst fight in the series. Alright, so after that intro I came up with at a later date, yes, I'm here to talk about one of, if not the worst fight in Jujutsu Kaisen. Though, instead of just keeping my hater shades on and calling it a day, my friend suggested a more fair approach to the topic. And because of that, I am here with a friend, your host on the boat, Sailor. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. As Jigga said, or I guess as you know him, Adam. Is that okay if I call you that? Adam.
Sure.
Yes, I'm your host on the boat, Sailor. I've been working on a lot of stuff on my channel. I'm sure that's linked down below. I don't know if it'll be there though. It doesn't matter. My being here today, I have been called to the stand. I have to defend my tribal chief's honor, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to listen. This man pulled up the Carfax like he's Higuruma. I have to face these allegations.
Yep. I thought about this topic every now and then. It's just like, because I obviously made my videos like, yeah, this is my favorite fight of Sukuna grabbing Jogo's head like a basketball and then just dunking it through buildings and everything. That's real cool, but it's like, dang, what's a fight I don't really like? And yeah, I've tried to find like what most people think, and a good number of people think it's one you even suggested, where it's like Nobara versus Haruta. Pretty sure that's how you pronounce that.
Yeah, that was gonna be mine too, but it's like they barely fought.
Yeah, it's not like really a fight, because
yeah.
like to me a fight would be like, okay, it takes up a good number of chapters and it progresses the story in some shape or form, and
Exactly.
like that quote unquote fight doesn't really like do either of those things and stuff. Like, yeah, sure, I could, easily put up my pitchfork and say like, it makes Nobara look bad, blah blah blah, but it's like, I'm fine. I got my Black Flash earlier before, so I think it's justified and everything. But it's like, okay, well, no, this one right here, this is an actual fight that took place during an entire like arc, had characters, had this whole setup and everything, and it's like, dang, I read it from start to finish. I don't really like it. It's like, why is that? And it's like, the more I thought about it, dang, I really don't like this fight. What the hell?
Damn.
It just kept going on and on and on. I thought like, yeah, that's probably just the worst fight. But I did hear around the block and stuff is just like, well, Sailor doesn't hate it. It's just like, okay, that's interesting. Now I need to understand why. Why is the case? Why don't you hate the fight at least? Because some people do also don't like this one. They put it up there as well.
Okay, yeah, listen, all right. There are some, as you would say, issues with this fight, and we'll delve into it later on, I'm sure. But what it does for my tribal chief is, mwah,
Yes.
si magnifique. And, as her counsel, as her wise man, I must defend her with my honor. I have to make sure that these allegations do not stick. So, that's why I'm here. I gotta be out here in the battlefield, in these streets. My hands look dirty, so hers look clean and slightly burnt, but clean. So
Yeah.
I just gotta make sure. Yeah, I really like what it does for Maki. It does a lot of great things for her character. I was rereading it just before we started, and I was like, God, isn't she lovely? I love her. But like I said, this does have issues, and like going back and reading the whole thing in full, I definitely see him now. So this will be a fun one.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a good start for I'm about to trip you up on your feet, because to me personally, now let me at least put up my shield and right on and say like, I do not hate Maki. If anything, I love her. I love her character. I love her more than I can't say Megami right off the bat because that's going to start off badly. But I like her more than most of the villains. I like her most than more than fucking Toji, Nanami, Chozo.
Wow.
all these big name peoples and everything, and it's just like, yeah, I really like her and stuff. Do I like this arc? No, because I was, rereading it, like, just going through the pages and everything and just really looking at, like, what it does for her. And I think the biggest problem to me is just how it focuses on her. The story is trying to tell me she's not really good at fighting, or she's not good enough. And to me, no matter how much I want to think about it, that will just never sit right in my mind. Because one, how does the arc start off? What is the very first thing that you see from this colony?
It's fucking sweet, dude.
It's sweet. Why?
It's so
Because
cool.
Maki fucking slaughters the curse right
Dude,
then and
caused
there.
A whole explosion in the tunnel. Like,
Exactly.
God.
So it's like, okay, feels a bit weird, as well as the fact that Momo straight up says, yeah, she's kind of a monster now. And on top of all of that, the one thing that just never made any sense, which again, the arc is saying, yeah, she's just not good enough. Really? You mean to tell me that she's not good enough, despite the fact that before all of this, she slaughtered an entire clan single-handedly?
Yes, sir.
And then more specifically, one punched the dude who is going to be the head of it, essentially?
Bro, not only that, like, when Naoya says, like, oh, yes, I've come back because I didn't die from jujutsu or whatever, Maki just straight up thinks, like, oh, it's because I killed you when I just punched you super hard.
Yeah.
I just killed you.
Yeah, I guess I just crushed your skull then.
Yeah, she obviously had no clue that her mom came in with the fucking MK1 assist. Yeah, no, she just thought, yeah, I just killed him. Cool.
Because the way that I always saw, like, the Culling games is like, okay, each fight did something for the character and stuff, where it's like, okay, what's the purpose of them and everything? Because I know, like, the Culling games themselves is already, like, a debate in and of
Really
itself.
weird.
Of, like, yeah, like how people want to, like, describe the arc. And I do think about that every now and then. And I'm usually the one that says, like, yeah, a good number of the fights, if not all of them, play out the exact same way. But besides that, it's like, okay, well, what do they do for the characters? Okay, for Yuji, it's, and you could definitely correct me if I'm wrong on this, where it's like, okay, he fully accepts the fact that Sukuna is a curse through and through, and, like, he's always going to be following him and stuff. Like, destruction just comes with him, and he accepts that responsibility. And we get to see him fight without, like, curse energy in the slightest, and surprisingly, that would come back later, as we saw in everything.
Yeah, it really goes with all the guilt that Yuji feels, like, just immediately accepting that, which I wish was, like, emphasized more, especially with what happens later in the arc. But yeah, like, the Higuruma fight was really good because of that.
Yeah, it's really good. Or the next one being Megami. At least what I got of that is, oh, okay, he's getting better with his technique. He's actually using the 10 shadows to some degree and everything. We're not going to talk about what happens to him after, but he's doing good for, what he's got and everything. That's really cool. And then, like, Yuta's stuff is basically like, okay, if you forgot about JJK0 and stuff, like, okay, after 2 years or so, this is what Yuta can do. He can fucking 1v9 an entire colony pretty much by himself.
Let me remind you why this guy is so sick.
Exactly. Like, there's a reason why they give him the title of, yeah, if Gojo's not there, him. He's him.
Yeah,
he's always him.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's like, God, this guy is sweet.
He's like, all right, well, you convinced me. And then, okay, well, Hikari, we didn't see much of what he could do. Now you really get to see what he can do. Gambling. Oh, okay. And it's really fucking cool. I fucking love Pachinko.
Yeah. Let's go, Konami.
Yeah. So you get that for those characters, and it's like, again, for Maki, okay, what is the story trying to tell me? She's a monster, but she's not Toji, and it's like, okay, I don't understand, because there's evidence before all of this telling me otherwise. So, huh? Okay.
Yeah. I will say, to come to my tribal chief's defense, I think the fight is just more so emphasizing that, like, because Maki has this new body, now that she's, funnily enough, able to see everything else like everyone else, she's just ignored all of her surroundings, and she's gotten tunnel vision to the point of just being like, okay, I've made it to the starting line. How do I get to the end point? Like, how do I get to where Toji is?
Yeah.
And her just, like, constantly focusing on, like, okay, well, he would have done this. Like, how can I do that? And not really having an answer because her teachers are kind of bad. Sorry, Gojo, I love you. Her teachers are kind of bad. So she didn't really know how to get there. And then, you know, she does the whole sumo thing, and she has Daidoji, which sweet name, by the way. I like that. Like, they teach her to pay attention more so to her surroundings. Like, don't focus on just the end goal, focus on everything else. And that kind of awakens Maki's senses in a way. So, like, I think it's less of just like she's not good enough. It's more so just like, yeah, you're like, I'm good, but like I don't know how to get better.
Yeah.
Like it even says like, oh, I was just content seeing what everyone else saw, and I never really knew how to like rely on others for strength, because for the longest time she was really just alone. Like, obviously no one else could really teach her how to use her abilities because no one else has heavenly restriction.
Yeah,
like
I was going
that.
to say no one else has heavenly restriction.
Yeah.
And the only other person that there was, it's like he's not like there anymore, and he wasn't
Toji
exactly
didn't
like
teach her shit
Mach.
anyway.
Yeah.
Toji would have been like, yo, kick rocks, yo.
Bro, don't touch me.
Get out of here. Yeah, I'm not teaching you nothing. Yeah, so like there's that. There's also the fact that she left her family. You know, her sister hates her. Like, obviously she has her friends, Inumaki, Panda, Yuta, you know, Nobara respects her and looks up to her. Best Yuri ship, by the way. In a sense, she is just very much alone. So it's I do like it from that perspective of just like learning how to better yourself and all that good stuff, you know.
Yeah. It's almost like martial arts, where the best thing about it is that once you learn everything about it, you actually can't fucking use it.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Yeah, I think Maki kind of falls in that same category. Plus, I also like it for like the overarching message of JJK, which is like, hey, be selfish, dude. Like, you should just do shit for yourself. So it's more so Maki focusing on just like, hey, let me focus on how I improve me rather than catching up with other people. So I like that.
Yeah, I do get that, because that's the way I always, not always, but I did try to look at it that way, where it's like, okay, you know, just because she does have like the new body, and yeah, sure, she is fucking stomping out people like ants essentially, doesn't mean she's like perfect with it. Because the way I thought about it was like, okay, well, you know, say for example, like, I don't know, Usopp from One Piece, he has observation hockey. Is he a god with it? No. He has it though. Yeah, I get it, where it's like it is a matter of like, okay, you basically now have the new body, you're at like 50% or like 75%, now get the rest. Try to understand how to get the rest and everything. So yeah. And I guess that wouldn't be my only problem though, because it's just like, okay, well, what else is there? Because if it was just that, you know, I could just say like, well, you've convinced me, you are free to go. And you're innocent, no charges among you. But it's like, well, no, there's still other things that I don't like about it. One, why is Naoya back?
Okay, listen. These allegations are a bit more rough, Your Honor. Wait a minute.
Because I also thought about that earlier today. It was just like, you know, like, again, the Culling games do seem to follow a pattern where it's like, okay, a good number of the opponents fall into either one or two categories. They're either people from, like, thousands of years ago that like made a deal and contract with Kenjaku and stuff, and now they're basically waking up. They got their curse energy. They're stretching out their bones and everything, and they're ready to fight and stuff. You get them like Kashimo, and basically like most of the people that Yuta fought and stuff. So you get those guys. Yep. You get people in the new age where it's like Higuruma, just a lawyer. Just a lawyer, but like,
Charles,
yeah,
Monica.
But look at his ability. He's the talk of the town right now, if anything. So yeah, has an ability called the Executioner Sword. Really cool. And this dude hated his job. Or like, oh, the failing comedian. I forgot his name. It's like
Takaba.
Yeah, Takaba. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you have him and stuff. Okay, so you have those two guys. Now he has neither. Because he's just a vengeful spirit. So he doesn't fall in either category. And I will let it slide just a little bit, where it's like, okay, well, surprisingly, by this point, nearly 200 chapters, there surprisingly hasn't been anyone coming back from the dead and being a vengeful spirit. I know, Rika exists, but it's like, you know, again, like, Rika ain't always around, but it's like, okay, yeah, sure, this is neat. It's a neat concept, but it's like, okay, what does he do with it? He's faster.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if you heard that, but he's faster. That's it.
Bro, Mach 3, yeah. I think it is like a big part of it is to just like keep up with the thing of just like, hey, sorcerers come back when they're not killed through jujutsu, because so far literally no one else has done it.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's to play up with that. Plus, Maki and I was about to say Naruto from Chainsaw Man.
Oh.
I was like, whoa. Maki and Naoya, they have some beef, they have a past and all that stuff. So like I can see it, like it's pretty much a layup if you're Akutami. Guy like me, I don't really mind Naoya just coming back to get stomped.
Again, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really mind it just because like I get it. The W misogyny, man. Like it's fun to meme.
The misogyny missile, bro. Let's go.
Yeah. The misogyny missile that looks like a coochie and a penis.
God,
like,
what was he cooking? I actually want to know what was going on in his head for that.
What, bro? Listen, whatever he was cooking, he clearly left out the key ingredient, which was subtlety.
Yes.
Goddamn. Goddamn. I mean, like, I don't want to make it seem like I don't like him or anything, or I'm indifferent, because I do like him. Like, memes aside, I do like him.
Yeah,
but
no, he's cool. He makes projection sorcery fun and everything, at least.
Yeah, and I like his, like, how crazy his domain expansion is. How it's just like, yeah, even your cells are, like, taken into consideration with projection sorcery. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, that's ridiculous. Now you're coming back to get smacked. I'm fine with it. I know some people aren't.
It's like, it's just now again. But it's like, okay, well, you know, as a vengeful seer, he's got to be super powerful. And yeah, at first, he was using projection sorcery pretty neat, where it's just like, oh shit, now it can affect the air in front of it, where like, now he's just like,
break the air.
Yeah, just shattering right through it and everything.
Like pseudo Gura, like.
Yeah, it's
insane.
like, dang, okay, that's pretty cool. But it's like, oh, wait, no, now he's just like, all he's doing is just, now he can just move at Mach 3. Okay, well.
Did he?
Yeah.
I forget. Did he like use that air breaking thing like once? Or like...
I think it was just once, which was my problem with it.
God.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, this will open up some like neat possibilities and stuff. Let's see if Maki can keep up. And it's like, well, yeah, he's moving really, really fast, but it's like he's not really using the ability anymore. And then he like has to weirdly question like, oh, how are they hitting me? It's just like, well, you're no longer using your now enhanced broken fucking technique, buddy.
Yeah, that is true. Wow. Even with me just reading it, I totally forgot. Yeah, for some reason I thought he used it more. But
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, no, because he just transforms into the Coochie Awakening, and then he has like his tentacle arms. And he's just mainly fighting with those, and then if need be, Mach 3 jet thing. So like, yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, it's just like, it's so weird for me to think like in the like the series where I do love complaining about the power system. Surprisingly, I'm a bit sad that there wasn't more. I was like, dang, I was kind of, where's my paragraph that I could have ignored? I kind of wanted that this time. I'm used to it and stuff, but
man, forget about that. We got a sumo getting this domain.
Yeah. So
getting the simple domain.
So
man.
I guess we could just talk about that. What are your thoughts about these two guys? Because admittedly, I do not even fucking remember their names.
Listen, I remember Daidoji, the samurai guy, because I think it's funny.
Okay.
Sumo guy. Listen, ask me his name, I freeze.
Yeah.
Yo, someone comes up to me, gun to my head, name Sumo Man, shoot me, bro. It's over.
Yeah, that's a bullet. Yep.
I just reread the fight and I already forget.
Yep.
But all right. So my thought on them, I guess it's a little complicated. Because listen, as a big pro wrestling fan, sumo is kind of within that same tier. So I think it's funny. Also, Daidoji just screaming for a katana and, you know, finding the Demon Slayer sword and just being a goofball. I think that's funny, too. I think my issue stems from the fact that, like, the story is so shameless. Like, they do not make any attempt at all to hide the fact, yeah, we just exist for Maki's growth.
Yeah,
like,
it's...
They even have a panel where it says, who we are doesn't matter. It's like, wow, that is so on brand. Like,
I am here to help you. I've literally come back to life for you.
Exactly. It's like, holy crap, dude, this is insane. Like, you have Daidoji, who's just like, yes, I am someone else who doesn't have cursed energy. I'm just really good with a sword. And then you have Sumo Guy, who, like, his domain is literally just a hyperbolic time
Yeah,
chamber.
I was like, oh, it's the training realm.
Yeah, I'm just like, golly, bro. The fact that we never see them again, the fact that they straight up say that they do not matter. Golly, bro. Also, one, I guess this is like a nitpick, because, like, I understand Maki trusting Sumo Guy, because, you know, she saw Daidoji make that huge slash and was just like, okay, he can handle this for now. Let me go sort myself out. Although, you know, it is kind of crazy, because she didn't really know. Maybe, I don't know. I was about to say, I don't think she knew that she could get in, like, 1,000,000 reps in under a minute. But her just immediately trusting Daidoji is, like, so weird to me, because she's in this life or death situation. You know, she says, like, hey, give me 5 minutes to heal, I'll be back out in these streets. She doesn't even get 3 minutes. She has to jump in and save Noritoshi, who did pretty good, all things considered. But she has to jump in, save him. She's, like, not gassed, but she is a little tired. Then out of the nowheres, Daidoji just runs in screaming katana, and Maki's like, sure, dude, you can hold my sister sword. like, sure, man. Like, she's not hesitant at all to be like, ew, no. Like this sort of means a lot to me, bro. She's just like, yeah, no, here, you can have it.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
the
get
family
it.
heirloom.
Yeah, like, I get it. Like, the panel where she tosses it and stuff, it was saying, like, the way to break a stalemate is to introduce a new element. Yeah, obviously, that's what she's thinking. But, like, it's just so funny to think about. Like, she's so willing to throw that. Like, you don't know this guy. He could have just been like, hey, nice sword, slice, cut you down immediately. like, you don't know if this guy's on your side or not. So her just being willing to just toss that, especially with how important Mai is. Like, Mai even said, like, I let some sweaty old man grab me. And you better understand what the fuck is going on. You better get with the program. God. Yeah, no. I think that's just the overall issue that I had. The story is, it doesn't even try to hide the fact that we are here for you, Maki Zenin. That's it.
I don't like him. I'll just flat out say it. I do not like him. I don't like it when the comedy is supposed to constantly tell you, like, it's funny because it's ridiculous. We're going to keep doing this until you laugh. And if you're not laughing, you're crazy. And it's just like, that's not how humor works, so I don't like it. Please stop. No, thank you. It's like the same thing with, like, in what is it called? Spider-Man, it's not No Way Home, but Far From Home, the Peter Tingle, where, like, they emphasize that.
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
Like, I hate that because Peter literally just got hit by a fucking bullet train, is having, like, a fucking crisis right then and there, and then Harvey's just like, oh yeah, the Peter Tingle, you know, the thing, it sounds like penis, you know, cock, wiener, Peter Tingle, you know, that thing, the thing, your spider sense. Why aren't you laughing? This is funny. It's funny.
This is very funny.
It's very funny, and it's just like, no, it's not. Especially for Maki's case, where it's like, life or death, bro. Noritoshi's kind of getting his teeth and shit kicked in right now. I don't know why we're spending a chapter about this dude and a half. No more, please.
Here we are. Yeah, here we are. He just spawns. And again, Maki is just like, yeah, sure, I'll sumo.
Yeah.
And Noritoshi's like, bro?
Hello?
Are you dead ass? Like, Noritoshi's just like, oh, so I guess it's just fuck me, huh? You're just gonna go you're just gonna go sumo wrestle? You want me to box this man?
I have no allies.
You want me to stay out here with this random old dude, and now you? All right, cool, nice. I'm glad you get your power up though. I just lost my whole clan. It's just like, damn, bro. Yeah, it's kind of goofy. I feel like it was especially like that, like the whole like, no, it's funny, like laugh, when it was with I guess Mio, the sumo guy.
Yeah.
Because like his was like so nonsensical. Like at least with Daidoji, it was a little tongue in cheek, whereas like him screaming for a katana and him finding a demon slayer sword, I laughed. But yeah, Daidoji just like going up to random people, just be like, you want to wrestle? You want to wrestle? You want to wrestle? Breaking through someone's window like the Kool-Aid man and figuring out like, okay, we're gonna go. He's dressed in his crazy ass outfit, got the ugly fucking doo-doo head haircut, got the shades on. He's got like the little pack or whatever.
Yeah,
he's
his
going
pouch
over to
and
sumo
everything.
wrestle. Yeah, it's just like, damn, bro. Okay. Again, I mean, I think he's a goofball. Overall, I do like him, but yeah, it's mainly just comes down to the whole like, all right, Maki, let's power you up. That's it.
I don't necessarily hate it per se. It's just like, okay, because I'm at least by this point, when I really understand Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm completely fine with characters like literally in the middle of a fight getting a power up. That's completely fine because that happens to fucking Yuji. The best example is like he learns Black Flash, one of the most advanced techniques in the span of a damn afternoon. And what does he do? He not only learns it, nearly perfects it, and breaks the record in the same day. And it's like,
that's my goal.
Okay, like I'm completely fine with that. It makes sense. Like characters get their development through death battles, and that's completely fine. But it's like, okay, for Maki's sake, it's like, well, no one else was around the teacher. It's just like, now you ain't gonna teach her shit again. Nor Toshi ain't gonna teach her anything. Okay, what do we do? Okay, just 2 random guys. And it's fine because they're reincarnated as well. There you go. Because that was my problem beforehand. Well, the enemy's not reincarnated, so let's have allies who are reincarnated who do the job for us for development. Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, like, and plus, I feel like the power-ups that people get a lot of the time, they like mean something, like, or rather like it's more connected to the story, and like obviously Maki's is as well. I mean, I just went on that whole rant about it. I love my tribal chief, but like the whole thing, like how she gets it, like I feel like comparing it to Yuji and Todo again, like Todo is like, we see him and Yuji bond, and obviously that's sweet. And then on top of that, we learn that Todo is connected to Sumiki, who is who's another, like, she's the last special grade sorcerer. So now we have more hype for her. Like, oh, what's her deal? Not Sumiki. Did I say Sumiki? I mean,
Yuki.
Sumiko. I think her name is Sumiko, or last name is Sumiko.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yuki. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, Yuki. She has a connection back to Todo, has a connection to Yuji. Okay, well, now I'm even more excited to meet her now. Megumi, with his power and how that relates to him using the domain expansion for the first time, it's like, oh, this is like a really big deal because it ties back to other stuff. Maki obviously does too, but like just how it comes about is so forced.
Yeah.
Like how it happens is just like, damn, all right. This is just like, we're not even trying to hide that these two are plot devices. We're just like, here it is.
I think like the last thing, this is just more of like, especially when I was looking back at it, I was just like, which just kind of loops back around, just like, dang, I just wish Maki wasn't the absolute center focus. I'm not saying that she should not be a part of this. It's completely fine that she's here. She could still do her cool shit. She can still have her tango with, Kursanaui and everything, and she can even get like the final blow on him. That is completely fine. But it's like, dang, when I look back at this, I'm very surprised to see that Noritoshi gets a lot more like time, but it doesn't really go anywhere. And I think that's what bugs me, because it's so surprising that there's not more like a weird connection for him to do anything against Naoya. Because the way I always saw it is like, oh, okay, these are 2 guys who got screwed over and they're no longer technically the heads of their clans and stuff, the big like 3 and stuff, and they're kind of the opposite of each other, where Naoya is a narcissistic, misogynist piece of shit and everything, who's the same dude who says like, yeah, I can stand side by side with Gojo and everything, let's ignore the fact that I got my skull crushed by one fist, whatever. I'm cool, I'm the shit, while Noritoshi's just like, bro, I do not want to be here, and I suck. I hate life. I do not want to do anything. So I think it would have been...
Plus, Noritoshi is also doing everything for his mom.
Exactly. So. Oh, you're right. Yeah. He respects women. Yep.
Yeah. So that's another connection back to him.
Yeah, so I thought it would have been, like, pretty cool to see him just do a little bit more, especially from the fact that, again, like, you get a lot from him. Not counting, Maki slaughtering like the curses and everything. Like the arc pretty much starts out with him because you see Kenjaku just invading his home. You see the flashback of all people who get told like, oh yeah, when you don't kill anyone with cursed energy or anything like that, they come back as a vengeful spirit. Maki didn't listen to that. Fucking Noritoshi did.
Yeah, I was about to say through Noritoshi. Yeah, he's even the one who like answers the question all the way back in Sister School event. Like, Gakuganji poses the question, and Noritoshi's like, "Yeah, here's the answer."
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another connection too.
You get that, and then again, the arc starts with him, and even surprisingly ends with him, where it's like it explains his name and everything, and you do get like, I don't think it's a full chapter, but just a good chunk of pages where it is just him trying his absolute damnedest to just fight against Naoya and everything.
Yeah,
and genuinely, that's just probably my favorite part of the entire arc. As much as I say like, this sucks, I do like that because it now gives you the idea that, okay, out of everyone here, he's definitely the underdog. So now you would want to be rooting for him to win in some case where it's like, okay, obviously being overpowered and Maki's just going to be like the trump card, the ace in the hole. She needs her 5 minutes or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, to me at least, I'm thinking, okay, he's going to outsmart him. He's going to catch him or whatever. Find some weird small detail that now he doesn't know about himself in his new form. Something. Probably some new technique on the levels of bleach or whatever. It looks sick as fuck. Maki slashes him. Boom. The end.
Yeah.
But you don't get that because, again, it just circles back to Maki like just now taking center stage where it's just like, well, I have a problem and now it's the main focus. Sorry, buddy. And it's like, okay, yeah, fuck him, I guess.
I think, and something else I just thought about too, another connection between Naoya and Noritoshi that wasn't capitalized on is the fact that Naoya fucking hates blood manipulation. Like after he got bodied by Choso,
you're right. Yeah,
fight, he even says when Noritoshi hits him with something, he's like, "I hate that technique, dude. God,
fuck you.
God, man, I hate that technique." Yeah, so like they really were polar opposites. Now that I'm thinking of it, I feel like that is like a culling game issue too. Because another instance of this is like Yuji and Hana. Like there's so much between them that could be told. But it's just kind of left on the cutting room floor. Yeah, I'm not sure like why Noritoshi didn't get more love. I mean, like he's certainly like he's not one of my favorites or anything.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying like
the story.
My favorite boy didn't get his time to shine. Just
of course,
no, I'm fine. Like again, I'm saying like Maki could still do the things that I just listed and everything. That's completely fine. But it's dang, if there was any time ever to just give one side character just a moment to shine, this would have been it. And it gets taken away from him. And it definitely doesn't help where it's just like none of the Kyoto students have done anything for the culling games. Or just anything so far after like
Bro,
Shibuya.
What do you mean? Nishimiya was like giving out status reports, bro.
You're so right. I forgot about that. All right, it's completely fine. I still, to this day, need to know what the fuck Miu was doing in Yuta's colony, but whatever, I guess.
bro, listen, man. Her Conqueror's hockey was radiating. You know, she had the JoJo menacing kanji.
Why?
But yeah, Noritoshi, it would have been nice for him to get more. I definitely do agree with that. Especially since we got so much of them. I think it's, again, just an issue with the culling games and just like, okay, so now we're gearing up to fight like the toppiest of top tiers. So only the strongest people matter, really.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, like, it seems like, again, to bring things back to Angel, like Angel was like a big reason why we even came into the culling games, and it's Jover for her now.
It's Jover, didn't do anything, which I think I don't know if you've also seen by this point, we got like a bunch of new pages and stuff for her Jacob's Ladder and stuff, and it's like, dang, that's really cool. Too bad it doesn't fucking matter.
It does not matter at all. Like it's a really cool ability, but it's just like, oh well, I guess. Like, I mean, hey, it freed my boy Gojo, so
yeah,
that's
it's
good.
just like, all right, cool character, quote unquote, I guess. Neat.
it's something that needs to be studied, and I will at some point because I love the series. But the side characters kind of like the side characters go from like, oh, like they're fun little characters. I really like seeing them. Like one underrated one I feel like, and I'm not just saying it because they're related to my tribal chief, but I love Mai's interactions with Nobara. Like I love
Oh, they're funny, yeah.
He is. Yeah. I love them. Like they go from like, oh, like really fun like side characters to just like, all right, well, we're here to fulfill a duty, and after that, I don't know, I'll see you in a chapter explaining domains.
Yeah,
that's about it.
I've got my research paper to do for you. Don't worry, I'll get back to you on it. I'm fine with the Maki stuff because I recently saw like a video about that where it's just like, oh, I didn't fully watch it, but a lot of the comments said the same thing where it's just like, oh, I think a problem with Maki after a certain point was the constant comparison to Toji, and it's just like, I'm fine with that. Ultimately, yeah, because it's just like
probably just because I love Toji. So
yeah, it's just like Toji. I don't have a problem with. He is what Maki can become, and I'm completely fine with that. Even like the moment she gets her new body and stuff, even her own dad was just like, huh, that's weird. Maybe I need glasses because that looks exactly like Toji. That's crazy.
That's Toji, bro.
Yeah, that's Toji. Yeah. And honestly, now, that's a sick panel.
Oh, it's amazing.
I love it.
It's one of my favorites in the series. Like, even in her first fight with Naoya, like, towards the end, Naoya's like, no, you don't get to stand with Toji. I do! You know, so, like, there's, even for, like, off-rip, there's just constant comparisons to Toji, which, again, I don't mind, because that's my goat right there. I love him.
I think just, like, some of the more, like, major things that just really water down just this arc and this overall fight is... You got characters that just literally come out of the fucking blue to give like character development that just feels pretty inorganic. To me at least, I don't think Naoya should have been the main threat. Could have just had someone else. You literally just could have had some random magical curse spirit.
It could have been anybody.
It just could have been anybody. Because it's like, ultimately, you know, Naoya coming back doesn't really add too much. Like, yeah, sure, you could easily just say
the only personal thing that I can think of. Sorry to cut you off again.
Well, no, it's just like, yeah, you know, you got like the beef with Maki, but it's just like, bro, what does it matter? She already beat him.
Yeah, like the only thing that I can think of is like the one panel where it's implied Naoya's just like, haha, I had sex with your sister, and Maki's like, grr.
Yeah,
and then we just continue. That's about it.
Yeah, nothing happens there, and it's just like, okay, well, even if he is back, there's the whole list of parallels I just made for a character that could have gotten some time. Hintity hint hint.
Yeah.
Especially, like, in comparison to the previous two fights where it's like, you know, again, 1v9 Yuta, really cool. The most balls-to-the-walls Jujutsu Kaisen fight of Hikari versus Kashimo. Wow, really cool. Oh, now we're getting Maki. Oh, and her new body. Oh, man, I can't wait to see her tear shit up. And she's just fighting a missile, essentially.
Oh, no, it's me.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Listen, man, I came here to fight the allegations for my tribal chief. I feel like I've done that.
You've done that at least, yes.
Yeah, I was about to say, everything else are like surrounding it. Listen, as long as my tribal chief is unscathed, everything else can burn.
Maki walks away. Just like the domain expansion, it doesn't fucking work on her. She walks away unscathed. Everyone else, though, yeah, they're fucked up.
Yeah, man. Like, everything else surrounding this fight, I absolutely agree. Like, it's just so wonky and weird. Like, when you came to me with this concept, I was struggling. I was like, is there any other fight in the series that I feel, like, weird about? And the only other one that I can think of, outside of, like, the brief skirmishes that I mentioned, was, like, Yuki versus Kenjaku. Yuki and Choso versus Kenjaku. Yeah. But then I was like, wait, that fight was sick.
Yeah, it's sick as fuck.
Like,
and
that fight was like really good.
The other reason why I chose this one is because compared to all the other fights, as much as people want to say like, you know, like the example you just got out of there, it at least progresses the story and you learn something new. Where it's like, okay, you get to see what Yuki can do. We get this whole just massive, like, just character development
we get
for Choso.
So much character
you get
for Choso.
sick shit with Kenjaku. You got people rooting for this dude now. And you even got people saying, like, you know what? Yeah, fuck Tengen. Let him get captured. You got all that fun stuff.
Aside from that, like I said, everything else in this fight is super weird. It's just very... very wonky. As I hit my desk on accident, it's just very wonky. So yeah, as long as I kept my tribal chief out of jail, that's all I care about.
Yep, she's free to go. Everyone else, they got some time to do. Yeah, I think that's just about it. Is there any final thoughts you want to say? Any plugs, like a Christmas tree that you want to give?
I am working a lot on an Attack on Titan video right now. I haven't posted in like a year, but it will be coming out soon. So
Yeah.
if you're interested in seeing it, go subscribe to me down below.
All right, so I thank you again for coming along, and anyone else who's listened, watched, absorbed this information into your mind, thank you for watching. But other than that, we bid you adieu. Thank you for watching. Bye.